You are sitting around a fire. It is dark. The wind is moving through the trees, and someone starts talking. They say, there was once a girl who walked into a forest and never came back. You have never met this girl. She is not real, but you lean in. You go quiet. Something inside you wakes up. Why does that happen? Why does a made-up girl in a made-up forest matter more to you in that moment than almost anything else in the world? Here's what nobody told you. Your brain is not built to remember facts. It is built to follow stories. And once you understand why, you will never look at a campfire, a movie, or even a conversation the same way again. In 1944, two psychologists at Smith College in Massachusetts, Fritz Heider and Marianne Simmel, ran a simple experiment. They showed people a short film. In the film, there were three shapes: a big triangle, a small triangle, and a little circle. That was it. Just shapes moving around a box on a screen. Then they asked people, "What did you see?" Almost everyone said the same thing. They said the big triangle was a bully. The little triangle was trying to protect the circle. The circle was scared. People gave the shapes feelings, motivations, a story. The shapes were not alive. They had no faces, no voices, nothing. But the human brain could not help itself. It saw a story. That instinct is not an accident. Anthropologist Robin Dunbar at Oxford University has studied human groups for decades. He found that when you record real conversations between people, about 65% of all talking time is spent telling stories about other people. Who did what? Why someone acted a certain way? What happened next? We do not call it gossip, but Dunbar calls it social grooming. He says it is the glue that holds human groups together. We use stories the way other primates use physical touch. Stories are how we bond, how we warn each other, how we survive. But the brain does something even stranger with a story. And this is where it gets remarkable. Neuroscientist Uri Hasson at Princeton University scanned the brains of people while they listened to a speaker tell a real personal story. He found something nobody expected. The brain of the listener began to mirror the brain of the speaker. The same regions lit up. The same patterns fired. When the speaker felt something, the listener's brain started to feel it too. Hasson called this neural coupling. And the stronger the coupling, the better the listener understood the story. Your brain does not just hear a story. It lives inside it. Keep that in mind, because it explains something strange that has probably happened to you. Have you ever finished a novel and felt genuinely sad? Not sad because something bad happened to you personally. Sad because a character who does not exist is gone from your life. Psychologist Melanie Green at the University of North Carolina calls this being transported. When you are transported into a story, your brain temporarily relaxes its grip on what is real and what is not. Your emotions respond as if the events are happening to you. The danger is real to your nervous system. The loss is real. The joy is real. Your body does not fully know the difference. And here is the part that should genuinely amaze you. Because of this, stories change what you believe. Melanie Green and Timothy Brock ran studies in 2000 showing that people who were more transported into a piece of fiction came out the other side with different attitudes than when they went in. Not because they were lectured to, not because they were shown statistics, because they lived inside a story long enough for it to feel true. A story bypasses the part of your brain that argues and checks and defends. It walks right through the front door. Now, here is the turn. And this is the part that flips everything. For most of human history, we had no books, no screens, no classrooms. We had fire and voice and dark. And for roughly 200,000 years, that was enough. Every piece of knowledge your ancestors needed to survive, every lesson about which plants would kill you, which stranger could be trusted, which mistake had cost someone everything, All of it traveled inside a story. Not a list, a story. Because the brain that remembered a story survived. The brain that could only hold isolated facts, with no thread of cause and effect, no person at the center, no tension or stakes, that brain lost the information. And losing information in a dark forest 100,000 years ago could cost you everything. You are not weak for loving stories. You are not wasting time when you finish one more chapter at midnight. You are doing exactly what your brain was shaped over thousands of generations to do. Stories are not decoration on top of real life. They are the oldest technology the human species ever built. And you carry that technology with you everywhere you go. There is an old word from West Africa, sankofa. It means to go back and fetch what you left behind. It is often shown as a bird flying forward while looking backward. That is what a story does. It reaches back into something that happened and carries that thing forward, alive and felt, into the present. That is why the girl in the forest matters. She is not real, but she carries something true. And your brain knows the difference between a fact and a truth, even when you do not. If this made something click for you, hit like and subscribe. Every week on this channel there is a story about the way your mind actually works, and it is always weirder and more wonderful than you expect.